Today we're going to make this workbench. I needed something that was cheap, multifunctional, and heavy duty. This is what I came up with. I made this primarily for using hand tools, but it's going to serve other purposes as well. I built it using these 4 tools, 1 sheet of 3/4 inch MDF, 10 2x4's, some screws, glue, and a few bags of sand. Now there's a lot of ground to cover, so this is going to be a fast-paced video. Let's get started. Alright, we're going to start off by creating the top first. Now I don't have a table saw in this space and I have hardly any work surface, so I'm working off the ground here. And I'm using a piece of 1.5" rigid foam to do all my cutting on. And we're going to cut 3 16-inch wide by 5 foot long pieces of MDF out here. I also don't have a track saw, so I've cut a rip of MDF off of another sheet and I'm using that for a straight edge. Once I've made those cuts, I can remove the straight edge, and then I'm going to give the pieces a quick sweep and get all the dust off of them, because we're going to be gluing them up right where they sit. I'm using Titebond 2 glue. I make sure and put a liberal amount on here. I wanted to make sure I had plenty of glue on here because it's such a large surface. I didn't want it thin and drying up before I started getting everything put into place, so I put a ton of glue on here. And I'm just using a little epoxy scraper from Total Boat to spread all the glue out. And I'm using 1.25" star drive screws, and I'm tacking the corners and getting the edges really close. And then I'm using the screws as a clamp, and I start in the center of it and move my way out, making sure I get good glue squeeze out. While that's setting up, we can go ahead and start creating the base. I'm just using 2x4 construction grade lumber from the local big box store. And what you see me doing here is I'm taking 4 of the straightest pieces I have that I'm going to set aside. Those are going to be the longer rails for the bench. I can use the pieces that aren't so straight for cutting the leg material because that's not as critical. Just go ahead and mark them up to length. I'm cutting these down to 33 3/4 inch. That way when it's all said and done, I will have a bench top height of 36 inches. I cut all of the components for the legs first. That way when I start screwing them together, I don't have to stop and make more cuts. We're going to be using some Deckmate 2.5 inch outdoor deck screws to put these together. To make screwing these together easier, I use one of the boards to support it. That way I don't have to fumble about trying to get the screws lined up properly. Once all of these are screwed together and set aside, I can start laying out the top. This is the 3rd piece that hasn't been glued down to the top yet. I started out taking measurements this way and then realized if I just set the corners on there that I could get more accurate numbers, so that's what I ended up doing. Since I need 4 of these, I cut all 4 of them at the same time. And once I get these installed, I'll be able to batch out all the rest of the pieces and parts I need, because I'll have all the measurements for those once these are installed. I make sure and face the crown of the boards towards the tabletop. That way with weight and over time, they will produce a flatter surface. Then I just go ahead and screw these horizontals to the corners. I probably could have gotten away with just the 2 face screws I put in there, but I also put some in from the other side. Better safe than sorry. And with 1/2 done, I can get the other one done. Since all 4 of these horizontals are the same, once I get these 2 finished and get a quick measurement, I can batch out all of the inner support pieces that I'll need, as well as the pieces for the bottoms of the legs. And I go ahead and get those all cut off camera. That way I don't have to waste any time doing it later. Here you see me putting the cross supports in that are going to help support the tabletop. I start on the ends first just to verify that I got them cut to the proper length. I don't want the edges of these corners sticking out past the MDF. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I get it as close as I can. Then I just take a center measurement and put the center one in, and then I split the difference between the center one and the end of the bench for that last piece. And then here's all the rest of the parts that I batched out earlier. Now we're going to double up all of the horizontals, and the reason we're doing that is I want the surface to be flush to the corners. They're going to get wrapped later. You'll see. Now that the first two pieces of the top have set up, I go ahead and pull all the screws. I only use the screws as clamps. I don't want them in there. I'm going to be routing channels in this and potentially putting some traditional round dog holes in later, and I don't want to hit any of those screws with the router or the drill bit. Do the exact same thing as I did with the first two, starting in the center and working myself out to the edges. While we're waiting for that to dry, I'm going to set the base down onto the top here and finish the rest of this up working off the ground. Now these pieces here are the leg supports, and I wanted to have some extra backing for casters that I install on here, and then they also serve the purpose of giving me a stop point to put the bottom horizontals in. And then I can get the side pieces in and the rest of the center supports. And just like the top, we go ahead and double up the bottom as well. This is also going to provide some extra rigidity and weight. I want to make sure I have a really low center of gravity on this, so when I'm using it, it's not moving around. And you'll see how I solve that problem later. As soon as I get this last little piece installed, we can go ahead and give it the heave ho and flip it over. Now remember, I still have all those screws to take out, so the reason I'm flipping this over is to set the top on top of there, get all the screws pulled out of it, and get all of the glue cleaned up. Seems kind of counterintuitive to do it this way. I had a bench sitting right next to me. I could have put that on, but this is how I chose to do it. And I'm just using my big Duresta razor blade here to clean glue up and pulling all the screws out of the center. Once I have that done, I need to kind of get all the dried glue cleaned up, so I use the razor blade to do that the best I can, and then take a few passes over it with the hand plane. And I know I'm going to get in trouble for using a high quality hand plane on MDF and glue, but it's what I chose to do, so I am sorry. I broke out the sander here to clean up the ends, and I want these to be as square to the surface as they possibly can. I'm going to be wrapping the entire outside of the edges with another strip of MDF, and you'll see why I do that later. They don't have to be perfect, I just got them as good as I possibly could. Now that the sanding's complete, I can go ahead and put the top down on the ground here, get the base flipped up onto it, and get those two pieces fastened together. Now I don't do anything fancy here as far as joinery or pocket holes. Since those top rails are 3 inches wide and the work surface is 2 1/4 inches thick, I just opted to angle some screws in from the ends and down the sides. And this seemed to work just fine. Once I get these along the sides here, I can go ahead and get this thing flipped up for its last and final time. I can give it a quick sand because I left some dried glue behind. Now that the bottom is finished, I can go ahead and cut the material I need for the shelf down below, as well as the apron material that's going to wrap around the top of the bench. Now, at some point in the future, I plan on building a tool cabinet that I can slide into this opening. Once I do that, that tool cabinet is going to provide all of the weight I need for providing a low center of gravity. But until that point, I need somewhere that I can place, you guessed it, the bags of sand. This is 150 pounds of sand, and once placed on the shelf, it makes it very difficult to move it from side to side. The next thing we're going to do is attach the apron pieces around the perimeter of the bench. We're using Loctite PL Premium construction adhesive. This is the only construction adhesive I use, and I've had really good luck with it. I'm also going to use some 2-inch long star drive screws for attaching this stuff. Now these screws will stay in the bench. I just have to avoid them when I go to lay out for all the grooves I cut in later. I ended up scribing a line in the middle of the top layer in the hopes that I would avoid any bulging or breakthroughs through the top. And I did discover later on that there was a little bit of minor bulging, and I probably could have prevented that if I just pre-drilled the holes. Live and learn. I also didn't realize that I was wearing my sunglasses this entire time. I'd just gotten back from running some errands and I forgot to take them off. Once I get the end caps installed, I can go ahead and flush trim those off, and then go around the surface with the palm router and a radius bit to eliminate those sharp edges and corners. Now we can lay out a pattern to cut all of the dovetail grooves. And we're just using a framing square with a fence on it and a carpenter square to get that pattern laid out on the bench top. And then we'll use the palm router and a 1/4 inch upcut bit to start cutting the grooves. And yes, I just hit one of those screws I was talking about earlier. I also dropped the vacuum hose and it stuck to the floor and collapsed my bucket. Just one of those days. Once I fixed the bucket and fixed the bit, I was able to finish cutting the shorter channels and move on to these longer ones. And having just learned my lesson, I took the screws out this time. As before, the first thing I do is hog out the majority of the material with the 1/4 inch upcut bit, mark next to the straight edge so I can put it right back in the same spot when I go to do the dovetails, swap out the bits, and then I can start cutting the dovetails. Did you see that part? Let's take another look at that. So the mistake I made down here on the end is I was using a quick grip clamp to hold the end of it, and the pressure of me pushing the router and holding tight to the fence moved it over ever so slightly. I quickly realized what I was doing luckily and wised up and put a screw clamp down to hold it down properly. Now that I fixed that mistake, I can finish the top of the bench and start to do the sides. I'm going to use a simple jig clamped to the table using the dovetail clamps. And what you're going to witness very soon is hopefully my last and final mistake on this build. It didn't occur to me to leave the side of the jig long, and when I got down to the bottom I lost my reference and the cut veered off. So to fix this, I grabbed a piece of 1/4 inch Baltic birch plywood and just made an extension of the jig and straightened out that cut. Once that was addressed, I could go ahead and finish cutting all these verticals. I'm almost finished with these, and then I can go on to the next step. Sure glad I made it through that part. Lots of little teeny mistakes. I gave everything a quick vacuum and then I could address the issue of this, which is no big deal. I just grabbed some sandpaper, wrapped it around a straight edge, and gave all of the corners a nice eased edge to get rid of that. And then one quick sand at the top to get rid of all my pencil marks, and I can start installing some casters. I bought these off of Amazon for $30. I've never used them before, but I thought I'd give them a try. The directions said to set these 1.5 inches off the floor. I decided to go with 2 inches. I figured just a little bit less height is more stability when I'm moving it around. And I will leave a link for these as well as all of the tools and any other things that I used during this build in the description down below. These install pretty quickly. Just screw the plates onto the bench and then attach the wheels and I'm ready to wheel around. Does anyone else say silly things like that? I find myself doing it often. Now that I can move the bench around, I need to install a plane stop at the end of the bench. For this, I'm just going to use a scrap piece of 3/4 inch MDF. I go ahead and mark out where I want the holes, get them drilled out on the drill press. And then I use the old super glue and blue tape method to secure a straight edge so I can make a straight cut connecting the 2 points. Go ahead and pre-drill the holes in the end of the bench, and then I can install the hanger bolts. I actually had to look up what these were. I totally forgot what people called them. Hanger bolts. These will allow me to put a couple of turn knobs on, and then I can raise and lower the plane stop to whatever height I want. Then we will wheel the bench over to the edge of the shop, and I can show you how the plane stop and the micro jig clamping system all works together. I really like how this project turned out. It's going to be a great starting point for using the hand tools that I own in the shop, and I'm definitely going to be making some modifications and adding a few things to this bench as time goes on. I want to thank those who stuck around to the end of the video. If you found value today, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. That way you'll be the first to know the next time another video comes out. And remember to dream big, be positive, inspire others, and get out there and make something today. I'll see you on the next one.